Welcome to another Bibledit-Desktop instructional video. In this video our goal is to learn a little bit about the reference Bibles that are included with the latest edition of Bibledit-Desktop, and that edition will be version 4.12 when it comes out. It's really available on GitHub now for Linux, and I'll be working on a Windows build for it pretty soon. I've got a couple of other bugs to fix before I do that, but here's what our goal is, and that is to have a number of reference Bibles available in Bibledit that can help the translator. These Bibles are generally freely available Bibles. I don't have any ones that are not freely available at the moment. And the way that you're going to look at these is you're going to go to View, Reference Bibles, and it's going to pop up a new tabbed window here called Reference Bibles that you see in the lower right hand side of the screen. And it has a tab here, Greek and English. For now, that's all the tabs that I have. I hope to have a tab next to it that may have version and copyright information, and another tab that will have notes like the NET Bible Notes or textual apparatus. And what I have installed here in Bibledit and put in parsers for to understand the different translations in their formats are three new Bible translations. One of them is called BYZ. That's the Byzantine Majority Text Type, provided by Pierpont and Robinson. It's publicly available on their website and open to the public domain. And this is an unaccented, unpunctuated Greek text, and you can see that here. It's very simple, no punctuation or anything. And this text came to me in an ASCII encoded font. That's how it's installed in Bibledit-Desktop in the Shared Resources section of the program. But when I show it on the screen and load it into the program, and then show it on the screen, I have it converted over to Unicode font, and since it's all lowercase and there's no punctuation or breathing marks or anything, it's no difficulty to do that. The second text that we will provide is called SBL. That's the Society of Biblical Literature SBL Greek New Testament. That's also freely available on their website, so I've just patched into that. And that was already in Unicode, and you can see that that does have punctuation and also breathing marks. And so that's included in Unicode. You can cut and paste from that if you want. And the nice thing about this is that if you're wanting to navigate to a certain section like John 3:16, when you go to that verse, then the Reference Bible window automatically updates for you. If you click in another verse, then it updates for you there, and it just keeps right up with where you're at, so that you can follow along and look at those verses. If you're translating or editing your translation or checking your translation, they'll be right there for you, Greek. And then also have one English version so far. I'm considering what other versions I might include. Obviously, the major translations like New King James, ESV, NIV, New American Standard would be very popular, but they're copyrighted, and so I'd have to get some special permissions to include those in this open source project, whereas the other ones I don't. There is a very generously licensed English Bible called the LEB. That's the Lexham English Bible, and it's associated with Logos. They have provided their text on their website, and it's also freely available for non-commercial use, which is what we are. And so I have included that translation as well. That was a little bit more work to include. It had a little bit different formatting and such, but the original text is also included in the Bibledit-Desktop installation package, and then I parse that and bring it in here to Bibledit. One of the areas that's difficult to handle in the Lexham Bible, which we don't have in the other two because they're New Testament only, is if you go to the Psalms, like Psalm 3 verse 1, you are familiar with the fact that you've got the superscription, or what they call the Psalm title, and the title is technically sort of like verse 0. I'm not sure why that 0 is showing there right now, but if I click inside of verse 1, then it will navigate to verse 1. The Byzantine and SBL tell us that those books don't exist. Eventually I'll probably just erase those altogether for the Old Testament books so they don't clutter up the screen. The LEB here gives us the title, and then included in the Lexham English Bible are the notes right in line with the text. I haven't bothered to strip those out and put them in a separate tab at this point, since it's just a quick reference guide. And then you can see the text of verse 1. So verse 0 and verse 1 are effectively compressed together into a single verse. And then if you go on to the second verse, you'll see that there is no title there. This occurs in a number of Psalms. I think Psalm 7 has the same thing. You can see here, in verse 1, the title or superscription, and then the verse right after it. So there's a little special handling there for that. The other place that the Lexham English Bible may show you shouldn't show you any difficulties. It showed me some difficulties, but in John 1:23 it had laid out some of these quotations as separate lines, and they had to be compressed together into a single line. So you have John 1:23. He said, new line, I'm the voice of one crying out in the wilderness, make straight the way of the Lord. And you can see this is just exactly how the text is written. We got the extra quotes there. The extra quote at the beginning. So I've probably given you a little bit more than you bargained for, but that's basically how to use the Reference Bibles window, and hopefully in the future we'll be expanding that to have some more. I'd like to maybe include the New English translation and the notes if possible, and maybe another English translation. Hebrew is another matter. That could be tough, but we'll look into that in the future. So thanks again for listening to this Bibledit-Desktop instructional video, and I hope you have fun using Bibledit-Desktop. Let me know if you have any difficulties, and we'll see you again later. Bye.